Welcome to the Evolve Beyond Limits podcast. I'm your host, Stacy. This podcast is dedicated to helping you create a life that sets your soul on fire. I believe that is truly possible for everybody, but you have to be willing to do a few things. You have to be willing to let go of your past conditioning. You have to be willing to break free from societal norms. And you have to be willing to get really curious about your life and how you can start to look at it differently. Each week, we will hear stories from people who have done exactly this. People who chose to disrupt the life path they were on, go against the grain, and share the lessons and perspective shifts they had to make along the way. Every episode is committed to not only inspiring you and connecting you with other amazing humans, but actually giving you the tools you need to use this information in your own life so that you continue to evolve and reconnect with your highest self. Are you ready? Let's have some fun. Welcome back to this week's solo episode of the Evolve Beyond Limits podcast. I'm so excited to have you back with me today as we dive into a topic that is always a hot topic, which is money. And specifically, I want to talk about the fact that how we look at money, right? So money is not necessarily as simple as we may think. So today I really want to talk about the frequency in which you're calling money in. Okay, because I think that it's one of those really, really powerful things that can help you understand that money can flow to you easier and more freely, and it can be a hell of a lot more fun, but we have to understand the energetics behind it. So when you think about, I want you just for a second to think about money. What are the words that kind of come up for you? All of those, and here's the thing is that every descriptor, every single one of you listening to this probably had different words to describe money. And why is that? It's because of the stories that we have developed around money. When you think about money, everything you know about it has been learned. You are not born thinking a certain way about money. You don't even know what money is. You're taught. You are taught by your parents, by your community, by the books you read, even the television shows that you watch are going to have an impact on how you look and think about money. And you have developed stories around money, and those started at a very early age. And if you never stop to question these stories, then you may never understand why you just can't seem to get where you want to be in that particular realm in your life. So, what are some of the things that you remember hearing about money growing up? Think about that. And this is a true story. I was working with somebody and they realized as we were going through some of this work, some of this self-mastery work, that she remembers growing up, and every time they would pass by somebody who was in a nice car, there was a nice house, her parents would point out to her that those people who were in those things and who had those things were old. So if you don't think that the stories that you hear around money impact you, this particular person was struggling at a young age to feel like she was financially secure, to feel like she had the right to even have the kind of money that she wanted to have, because she was so blocked by this money story that only people who are old get to have nice things. So more than likely, these stories have stuck with you. If every conversation that you had around the dinner table was about money, and every fight you could remember your parents having was about money, then you're not going to necessarily have a very good feeling about money as hard as you try to. If you never talked about money, if that was a shunned topic in your home, then again, you're not going to have the best feeling. So these stories that we have about money usually lead people into two categories. And those two categories are, do you look at money as a tool or as a trap? And it makes a huge difference because it depends on whether you're coming at money with this sense of high vibration or low vibration, the frequency at which you're drawing it in. So let's talk about the differences. If you look at money from a place of very high frequency, very high energy, you're going to look at money from a place of peace, a place of joy, place of love. You will start to look at money as simply as a multi-purpose tool that can be used in so many different ways to help you create the life that you truly desire. There are so many creative, fun ways to use money, and you realize that you are the creator of the money, but it doesn't define you. Okay. But on the other hand, there's this low vibration, and low vibration is going to come from a place of guilt, shame, fear. And when we look at that, money becomes the trap. Do we feel bad about having money because only older people are supposed to have money? Do we feel bad about maybe making more money than other people in our families? Is that leaving you feeling gross? Does money leave you feeling like yucky in some way? Do you have fear around money? Like, we have to know those things. And when we look at money as a trap, it's going to leave us feeling pretty handcuffed in our lives. So when we look at money as it leaves us feeling handcuffed. It leaves us in this place where we're afraid to live a life that we truly desire because we're so busy chasing the money and doing everything we can not to lose it all. And in that place, more than likely, like most people in our culture, you believe that money is your security blanket and that it has the ability to keep you safe in some way. But it's not until you realize that, again, you are the foundation and the creator of the money in your life, and how much of it you have doesn't define you, that you can actually start to look at it differently. You can start to have more fun with it. You can start to come at it from a place of love without the expectations that come along with it. So I want you to think about those two things before you do anything. Where is it coming from? Am I building a business out of fear, guilt, and shame? Or am I building something because I love it, I'm excited about it, and I want to have fun with it? Am I buying something because I am afraid of how I'm fearful of how I might look in the eyes of others? Or is it because it really, really makes me excited and I'm going to get so much joy out of it? Right? If it's coming from a place of low vibration, then you need to rethink it. Life and money become so much easier when we're coming from that high vibration place. And understand that, like any of the stories that you have around money, they're going to take time to change. They're not going to happen overnight. So don't beat yourself up over it if you slip back into those money stories, because that's going to happen. And the more you practice, the better it's going to get. But it's just not going to happen all at once. But you can absolutely start to work through them. So I want you to think about, how do you pay bills or invoices? Can you send that out from a place of love and gratitude instead of sending it out in a place of, oh, I have to do this, right? And that's how totally honest, this is how I used to be. Anytime I had to pay anything, I was like, oh my gosh, here we go. Right. And because that's the way that I sent it out, it did not have a good energy attached to it. And so now I'm going to ask you to, even like your student loans, anything that you have to pay it from a sense of gratitude. So if you're paying the energy bill, as you pay it, say to yourself, or even out loud, I am grateful for the fact that I have electricity in my home and I send this out with love. And I know that that might seem kind of funny, but like this stuff, it does work. It makes a difference. And if we want to change something in our life, we have to be willing to take the action it's going to take to change it. So just experiment with it. See how it is. And the other thing that I want you to start to look at is, how much fun can you have working with your money? How can you make money more fun? How can you not dread money? So like Andrew and I, we have money dates, right? And sometimes we do that over a glass of wine. Sometimes we do it over coffee, but we always like to do it in atmospheres that make us feel good. We have a money playlist that we like to play. We have different things that make our money more fun, right? And lastly, so try those couple of things this week. But lastly, I also have a journal prompt for you, which is like, what are some of the ways that money was portrayed in your household growing up? And how do you think that is impacting you today? All right. Thank you so much for tuning in for another solo episode of the Evolve Beyond Limits podcast. It means the world to me. And if you could share this with somebody who you think needs to hear it, then that would mean so much too, as well as leaving a quick review, rate, and subscribe to the podcast if you are loving it. It really helps get this message out there, and I appreciate every single one. So thank you for joining me today. And until the next episode, keep evolving.